Hey friends, welcome to another episode of the 10 Laws Podcast with East Forest. It's been a minute, that is true. I've missed you, I truly have. I've also just still been on hiatus and taking the time to figure out what's the best move. What do we want to do here in this space? But more on that in a second, and I would like your input. But I wanted to share with you this week, I've been playing a lot of music out there live in the world, and I was out at Psychedelic Science, which was a lot of fun, actually, seeing like a lot of friends that we haven't seen in a long time, and everyone's sort of crisscrossing, and we got to hang out, and a lot of fun moments. Maybe we'll do an episode where we can just tell you about some of those fun moments. But I got to play a concert with Portal. They had a dome there, and we did this sort of ceremony concert vibes in Denver. So I just put up the entire mix of it over on the council on Patreon. So that's my space, patreon.com/eastforest. That's pretty much where I've been sharing all my live sets and demos, things I'm working on. And I'm really, really grateful to have that space to be able to share. So I'm going to share a bit of it here with you now. It's going to be creeping here in the background, and then after I'm done talking, I'll let a song or two, a sample from that set play out. But if you want to hear the whole thing, you're more than welcome. You can join for free and look at the different tiers, but it's just free if you want to check it out and listen to this and other stuff. Got a whole bunch of stuff. Patreon.com/eastforest. That is the council, as we call it. We also been doing for many years, it actually started in COVID, over there in the council, a monthly Zoom gathering where we get together. Of course, I'm there, and we all get to share and sort of recognize the weavings that are happening in our lives together across the globe. And then I use that to do a live meditation for the group there. And then I mix it and share it as a recording like the next day, and that way they sort of have a library of these sort of customized, co-created guided meditations. Some of those I've shared with you over the years, and a little sneak peek. I am going to be releasing my next release on like Spotify and stuff. Aside from a single I'm doing with an artist called Anadi, which more on that too, is going to be a series of guided meditations, and it's called Lovingly Guided, because I'm using my album Lovingly and putting guided meditations. They're mostly from the council, and I put them together to share with you. That'll be in the fall. But tomorrow, or when you're hearing this, like now, I just want to let you know I'm hitting the road. I'll be on tour. I'm going to be in the Southeast. I'm going to Nashville, Atlanta, Asheville, North Carolina, Saxapahaw, North Carolina, and then Boone, North Carolina at the Ram Dass Retreat. So if you're around August 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, that's when those first dates are. I believe Nashville sold out, which thank you so much. But Atlanta, there's tickets. Please, it's the first time, technically, I've played in Atlanta and Asheville, technically, or at least in a super duper long time. I opened for Trevor Hall in Atlanta ages ago. But point is, I'd like to gather our tribe, so I'd like to thank you in advance for helping just let people know. It's such a game of attention these days, and letting people know. And a lot of us artists, we don't have the emails of people who came to our shows. You'd think we would. We're not shared that kind of information, so which is crazy. So we always have to go through this thing of trying to let you know, people that we feel like are our friends, that, hey, this is happening. So eastforest.org, there's a ticket tab there, hit tickets. That's where you can see more information. These are seated concerts, so you can be super comfortable, go super deep, and drop in. Again, that's going to be Nashville on August 7th, 2025, and then Atlanta on the 8th of August, Asheville, North Carolina, Saxapahaw, and then the weekend following that is the Ram Dass Retreat in Boone. I think there's still a few tickets left for that too. Rada will be there at the Ram Dass Retreat. So again, thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing those that will be there on the road with me. Just so you know, I'm also coming really soon to California, Southern California. I'll be in Santa Monica on the 12th at a little thing at Mudwater, and then in Ventura, doing a proper event in Ventura. I've never played there before. I'm very excited. That's going to be on September 14th. So, actually, there's more to announce. I don't want to confuse you, but I'll be in Australia with Wanderlust in October, at the end of October, and then we're going to announce some Northeast and Midwest, a lot of new markets for me in November. So those actually will be announced really soon. But looking forward to seeing everybody out there really soon. And thank you again to everyone who is on the Patreon. So you're probably wondering why I haven't been here in this space. And I did, almost 300 or maybe more. I don't know. We've done a lot of podcasts. I was doing it weekly for 5 or 6 years. And it's been amazing. I really enjoyed so much all of those conversations. And the podcast itself started way back when it was pretty much just an audio space, right? We weren't doing the whole video element or clips or all that jazz. And I'm an audio guy. I like listening to podcasts, and kind of my imagination can go, and I can just sort of picture the conversation happening, and most of us multitask. I'm sure there's many people probably driving right now. Be safe. Gardening, biking, packing, whatever it is, that's one of the things podcasts are often used for. Nothing wrong with that. But I got kind of overtaxed when I was making the music for Mushrooms Film, and I had to put it on pause. And then when I put it on pause, I kind of realized that this is nice. It's nice to take a beat here, a breath. And when I took a breath, it made me recognize this, look, you've been on a train of just doing this, and now that things are shifting and the world's shifting and the media landscape, what do you want it to be? And what I listen to on podcasts is not necessarily what I want my own show to be. I know that's strange, but I don't want this to just be about politics or something. But I don't know. But I'd like to know, what you'd like it to be. I'm interested in sharing more music. Of course, when I was doing that, that's, I think, maybe what triggered Spotify to pull the entire podcast off, and that was a real kick in the nuts. So I've got to be honest. Where I was definitely, when I took that pause and that happened, it really made me be like, man, you do all this work, and then without even a discussion or any form of recourse or ways to really appeal, they just pull it. I don't know why. Still, technically, I think it might have been just like AI scrubbing it for what they thought was copyrighted music, but it's mine. And I like sharing music with you. I like sharing the guided meditations with the music in them. I like sharing things like this, live sets. I like sharing old music and giving you stories or behind the scenes of everything has a story, and everything's about stories. So do you want more of that? The interviews are fun. The conversations, I felt like I learned a lot about other people, and I just learned a lot, period, doing that. They definitely take more time to put those together. But then I was like, maybe I do less of them, but they're more in depth, or they're more produced. Or it's the opposite. All of these are shorter and they're more on the fly. Maybe they're on location. I don't know. You tell me. Or maybe I'm just answering questions and there's one every time, or I don't know. But I'd very much like to hear what you'd like to hear, because we are the community here and we're doing this for us. And I don't want to just be blathering and doing something just to do it. I'm not here to make noise. I'm here, in essence, it's like the name of the game, as Ramdas would say, there's one game in town. And to me, that game is learning how to love more, learning how to have compassion for all beings, not just compassion, that compassion being a doorway into loving everything. I mean, everything. It doesn't mean we don't have our errands, we don't have our grudges, we don't see the anger, things don't come up, the stuff comes up. But it's that increasing awareness that grows over time of what is. And the what is that it's all one, sub-ek. We are all under this one thing. We are all one being in the cosmic game of peekaboo, returning home. And in that way, It's like almost like we're here working out through our karma, through decisions and choices we've made across time, across lifetimes, in relationships, that when we're triggered and there's grist like that, the friction, that's the point. I mean, those are the opportunities for us to see and notice and unlock and work through. It's kind of like a ways for us to remember over and over again. Everything, everyone we meet, everyone we interact with, certainly we have these bigger nodal soul connections that are beautiful and important. But every dance that we do is a dance, and it has its time and place. So even this podcast, this dance, for me, it can be challenging sometimes to not do things, especially things that I start. I grew up in a way where it was really hard for me to quit stuff. I'd really beat myself up, and it's still very alive in me today. A great example of that is Boy Scouts. Oh yes, I was in Boy Scouts, and when I finished it, so to speak, to be an Eagle Scout, and I did not enjoy it. And I'd look back like, why did I do that? And I was like, oh, I thought it'd be good for college and blah, blah, blah. But it's not even like an organization that I'm very proud of now, given what's gone on with it. But more importantly, when I was in it, I didn't know that. I just knew that it was just there's a sense of burden, like you're supposed to finish what you start. And it's beautiful to get the job done, right? It's one of the 10 laws. Get the job. That's a really, really important one in life, especially today. But that being said, for me, I can sometimes take that a little far. So with the podcast, it's actually really important medicine for me to put it aside for a moment and be okay with that. And maybe that's the message. Maybe y'all will reach out and you'll say, hey, it's okay to put it aside, and that's that. You did some beautiful things and you're done. But I do enjoy aspects of it. I do. So it's finding a way that feels there's a flow and it's sustainable and it works for all of us. And it has meaning, and then it's not just noise. It has meaning up against the backdrop of this great turning, this great transition that we're all here as these wonderful participants doing exactly the thing you need to do. That is a unique ingredient in this soup that we're putting together. I know it feels crazy, but in my heart, I can also sense the burgeoning newness of what is becoming, and I just like to choose to believe that we chose to be part of this thing. And in that way, I honor you for being here. Like, the point for each of us is to lean in. And typically that's to lean into our experiences and the things that are right in front of us. The mundane, the mendacity is like, that's the point. Or that's the Dharma, and it's right here. So, maybe we'll do, I would like, it's still in our heads a bit, maybe Radha and I can do a little Radha Krishna roundtable and go through some of our experiences, like going to psychedelic science. We had some funny stories that happened running into people at different times and places. And then I've been down in southern Utah anytime I have free time, which hasn't been a ton, working on trying to get my place down there built up, which at this point it's like roads and wells and water lines and putting in a septic field and creek crossings and solar systems and a lot of construction on a really basic place to stay. It's not that basic, but point is, it's like very physical. And there have been many moments when I'm down there, I'm like hitting my limit of like, what am I doing? I'm totally crazy. Talk about something that you're like, I started it, I have to finish it. I mean, this is a big one for me. So I'm really trying to figure out like what is being asked of me down there. But I also, it's amazing. Like looking up at the stars sometimes at night, and it's over 7,000 feet, and it's one of the dark skies areas of our country here in the U.S. So ton of stars, like the Milky Way just blazing there in front of me. And it's so good because it's so humbling. It's like, how can you look at that? How can you look at that and not feel in your bones that this whole thing is pure magic? In some ways, with the advent of electricity and so forth, industrial evolution and revolution, where we don't see the night sky as much, we lose a sense of scale and our place in the universe, quite literally. And it's very important. It's very, very good medicine. I wish that everyone can see the stars like that. So I've been going down to Utah, and then I've been spending a lot of time rehearsing and working on the live set stuff because I'm doing these tours, and that's a big priority for the year. I was working on the movie so much. I'm still out there performing, and that was fun, but I also recognize, all right, I got to buckle up and get my head and my heart back in the game, which is live music. So this year, 2025 and into 26, is a bit of an experiment for me, 17 years in the making, about touring in a certain way, a certain traditional way, maybe is a way to put it. I'm still inspired by that concert I saw of Sigur Rós. It was like 2005 at the Beacon Theater, New York City, sitting down in that theater, just sinking in. My buddy gave me 1.5 grams of mushrooms. I did not know the band at the time, and being completely mesmerized by this show in the theater, and walking out of that show down the Columbus Circle after just by myself sitting there at the fountain, just melted, like blown apart of what live music could be, what a show could be. And that's what I'm aiming for all of us, about where we can go emotionally, with an open heart, in these musical spaces. So I'm still going after that dream, and this is a big part of it this year, where I start to experiment with that. And so thank you for coming along for the ride with me, those that can. And I want to see not just how I feel, but what I can, like, I always try to find the line. It's like, how many of these can we do, or what's too much, or what's reasonable, and try to be yes to everything, and trying a lot of new things. So it's a bit of a crucible of our creative and artistic experimentation over the next several months. And I can't wait to share this with you, and I can't wait to, it has to be shared with you for it to be anything and for it to develop. So thank you, doing it together. And in that way, I'll leave you now to check out a little bit of this live concert. If you want to hear all of it, again, it's on Patreon, on my patreon.com/eastforest. And if you can come on the road and see me there, in Atlanta, Nashville, Asheville, or Saxapahaw, or Boone, or Ventura, California, or Santa Monica, or any of the others after that, just go to eastforest.org and you'll see all the deets, and come say hi. I think you guys keep walking, and we'll catch you soon. I promise.
We have to get out of our minds. Our thinking minds. I'll tell you how I do it. By using a mantra or phrase. I am loving awareness. 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 Huh? I'm loving awareness. I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. loving awareness. I am 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 loving awareness.